The fourth escapades unfold one morning on Baker Street, when Iris has prepared breakfast for everyone as usual. But Ryunosuke wakes to find an envelope under his door, containing a death threat. Who on earth could have put it there, and why? If anyone is a Sherlock Holmes fan, this episode is quite literally a ton of Sherlock Holmes references. Although I don't know what's kept and what hasn't been due to copyright, so... And I don't know all my Sherlock Holmes references. 9th of March, 8:23 a.m., Sholmes Suite. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, morning, Susie. I'll get breakfast on the table for all of us.
Mr. Sholmes. Morning. Come now, why the long face? Oh, sorry. The thing is... I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning, with some rather strange things inside.
What strange things? Oh, what was it, Bruno? Do I catch the scent of mystery in the air?
Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It's just 5 orange pips. I can't imagine what it could possibly...
What? Orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo? And 5 of them?
What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it?
An overreaction? Mr. Naruhodo, you don't understand. It's a warning. A notice of imminent danger to your life.
What? To my life? What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes?
My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me?
Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours.
Oh. You're right, Bruno. It says, sent by Sholmes, envoy of hell.
Envoy of hell!
So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night.
Oh yes, Miss Sato cooked Japanese food for us.
Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final norimaki sushi roll that I was about to savor. That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and flinched it off from under my nose.
Oh, I assume because you left it that you didn't want it.
I left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. Surely you must have noted my intent by the sorrow dilation of my right pupil.
Perhaps a clearer sign would be helpful next time. Just an idea.
In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your boots.
Not when I know it's coming and it's you? Really? Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit.
There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it to doesn't know what it is. Well, I knew, of course, because I've read this book, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. One on sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews.
Oh yes, of course. It's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well.
It is! 12 story shorts in 1 volume. I earned a lifetime spending money already.
This is also like some, weird advertisement to go buy the Sherlock Holmes stories?
And it further boosted my name. In fact, only the other day, a Bohemian king sought to engage my services.
Really? That's extraordinary.
Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration.
Huh.
But only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade.
So how did you know that he was a king then?
Why, there is no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct smell of fish accompanied the man's lowly apparel. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his mustache quivered in quite a manifest manner. Oh, Mr. Sholmes! That's simply brilliant! Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I was sent a quantity of fresh cod as a mark of his appreciation.
I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger. No, Giselle is quite literally the Giselle bullet that shot Watson in the knee. She is a personification of a bullet.
Is that... Can anyone else smell burning?
Oh, yes, you're right. And look, smoke. I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Really? A fire? We must all leave at once. Everyone out of the building. No, wait, I have to go back to my room first. Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death. But my Daruma doll. I can't let my Daruma burn. It means too much. Drat, sorry, I'm gonna have to make a dash for it upstairs.
Oh, Runa, you're so funny.
This is no time for jokes, Iris. Go, quickly. Get out of here.
But there is no fire.
Except for the fire in the fireplace.
Is there, Hurley?
Huh?
What a delight to see the ploy enacted in the flesh.
I think this fire is in a study in Scarlet.
I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky.
Miss Osato?
Indeed. Indeed, it was a ploy. A devilment engineered by my puckish spirit.
It was all a trick? But why?
It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruhodo. When his life is threatened, a fellow is compelled instinctively to protect that property to which he attaches matching importance. And after your own life, Runo, the most important thing to you seems to be your Daruma doll.
Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? So, you knew all along, Miss Osato, that it was a trick?
Yes, of course. The very ploy is described in this book, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews.
Not again. I have used that device quite satisfactory in the past to solve a case.
Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all.
Yes, that's true. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cried wolf. I think there's a lesson to be learned in there somewhere. But sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results this time. Iris was utterly unmoved.
What do you mean?
Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room.
Nest egg? You think Iris has some secret savings?
Sholmes, don't take money from a child. Why, naturally. The book is selling like hotcakes after all. It is a simple deduction, indeed, to conclude that the profits must be concealed here within these walls.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you in need of money? I bet I know what it is. It's that new microscope that's gone on sale, isn't it, Hurley?
What else? I have such a strong desire to own one, yet my purse is 1 pound too light. And as no offer of a loan has been forthcoming, I have been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem.
Sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming from the Sholmes who cried wolf.
How vexing! You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old's savings, you know.
My book is full of little tricks like that, you see? The armory of the great detective.
Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they? Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley mystery. Boscombe Valley. I'm already filled with dread just from the title. It is a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of the great detective, the skill of tracking. Tracking? When I arrived at the scene of the crime in the Impimus Valley, there were footprints everywhere. But my eyes were immediately drawn to one set in particular.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, your detective instincts are truly remarkable. As you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints all the way to the man's place of residence.
It led you directly to the culprit's house? What a triumph.
You misunderstand. It led me directly to my own house, my dear fellow.
Huh?
For the footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes.
Hurley had left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. And then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street.
I'm shaking my head. Now, Iris, please, you make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you it's no easy feat. Tracking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Sherlock Sholmes.
Yep, that's specifically just you, man. You're right, it really is extraordinary.
Quite so. Extraordinary is the word, and let it be the last on the subject. Anyway, needless to say, I subsequently went to solve the case with various other deductions.
Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in.
Ah, well, you shall have to read the book then. I'm sure Iris has penned it with her usual flourish.
Oh, absolutely! I put an ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits. It must be very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. Oh God, don't remind me.
Wait, is that... Does it smell like something's burning again?
We've had enough devilments for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed.
I assure you, this has nothing to do with me or my spirit.
What?
Oh no! The smoke is getting thicker!
You mean, it's not a trick this time? There really is a...
Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone!
Ah! Mr. Sato, where are you going?
Stand aside, Mr. Naruhodo!
Easy, Mr. Sholmes. What are you... Mr. Sholmes? Why did he just chuck that bust of Napoleon on the floor? Oh, look at that. In amongst all the broken porcelain. Coins. Sovereigns, in fact. Worth a whole pound each.
Come, everyone. We must leave at once. Evacuate the building.
Oh, Iris.
You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker.
Wait. You mean Iris?
I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you've hidden it.
Do you mean to say that this smoke was...
Don't mess with Iris.
My own puckish spirit needs to come out and play sometimes too, you know?
What? Of course. I know what it is, Iris. It's that indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after.
I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before, I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room.
You've outwitted me again.
You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know.
So, thank you for the loan, Hurley.
God, these two.
Oh, but wait.
What's the matter?
Where's Susie? She disappeared.
Oh, yes, that's right. She ran up the stairs before, didn't she?
Oh! What are you all still doing in here? We have to evacuate. It won't be long before the fire is...
What fire?
Sorry, Susie. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know, but it's all perfectly harmless.
Harmless, maybe, but oh so devious. All right then, don't mess with Iris. Good to know, good to know.
Oh well, at least nobody was hurt.
Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard. Now tell us, Mr. Sato, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch?
Sorry? Oh, no, nothing. This is nothing. see. That's your notebook telling all of Runo's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seams.
What? Ah, a testament to the various people you've helped over the past months. Miss Sasato,
Well, I am your judicial assistant after all. I would do anything to ensure the safety of these records. Even risk my life if necessary. I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm getting all teary-eyed now. Yes, in stark contrast to a certain someone who would have fetched his Daruma doll, I must say. Ugh. You leave the Daruma doll alone, man. You're gonna get emotions later for the Daruma doll. Alright, that was it! We're done! Holy crap, it's actually almost midnight. Amazing. Alright.